Good morning, everyone. In this section, we are going through the fourth unit of your paper 1. So, first topic is E as an accelerating field. E means your electric field. So, here we are considering due to the acceleration of the electric field, how the what are the changes happening to the system. Second one is electron gun. Electron gun means it is a device which producing narrow stream of electrons from a heated cathode. The electron gun starts with a small heater, which is like a hot, bright filament of a regular bulb. It heats a cathode, which emits a cloud of electrons. Two anodes turn the cloud into an electron beam. The accelerating anode attracts the electrons and accelerates them towards the screen. Then we will get a streamline flow of electrons due to these anodes. The accelerating Because this accelerating anodes attracts the electrons and then after that it is moving. It was widely using in computer, television monitors until that flat screen display rendered them. Okay, now we are using flat screen displays, and before that we are using these electron guns in the computer screen and TV monitors. It can be used to ionize particles by adding electrons to it or by removing electrons from the atom. Next topic is the case of discharge tube. So, discharge tubes means a tube containing charged electrodes and filled with a gas in which ionization is induced by an electric field. So, in this case, in the tube, the ionization is happening to the induction of the electric field. The gas molecules emit light as they return to the ground state. See, when it is returning back to the ground state means it is having some sort of energy and it is in the higher energy level. So when it is coming back to the lower energy level, it will emit some energy. So here the particle is emitting energy as in the form of light when it is coming back to the ground state. That is what we are seeing in the discharge tube, or how in that way it is working. So the discharge tube is usually a glass tube. So with two electrodes will be there sealed inside these walls. When a voltage is applied to the electrodes, the pressure of the gas in the tube is reduced. Eventually, a pressure is reached at which a current flows and the gas begins to glow. Then the next topic is your linear accelerator. So in linear accelerator, a linear particle, or we can name it as linear particle accelerator. It is a type of particle accelerator that accelerates the charged subatomic particles or ions to a high speed by subjecting them to a series of oscillating electric potential along a linear beamline. Particle accelerators use electric fields to speed up and increase the energy of the beam of particles, which are steered and focused by magnetic field. So both the fields, we are using both the fields, electric field and magnetic field. Electric field will boost up or increase the energy of the beam of the particle, and magnetic field we are using to focus the stream of particles in a single line. Electric field is placed around the accelerator switch from positive to negative at a given frequency to accelerate particles as a bunch. If you have to accelerate them in a bunch of form, we are using it. Next is electric field as a deflecting field. So CRO sensitivity also we have to discuss here. So first of all, we have to know what is CRO, right? So CRO means it is cathode ray oscilloscope. It is a type of electrical instrument which is used for showing the measurement and analysis of waveforms and other electronics and electrical phenomena. Okay, the CRO has a stylus. Stylus means it is the luminous spot. If you are observing a CRO, there will be a luminous spot in the screen and it is moving according to the available field and variation. That is our observation screen. Okay. So that stylus which is move over the display area in response to the input voltage. How in that way we can measure the input and voltage and all those things. The deflection sensitivity or the CRO sensitivity means it can be defined as the vertical deflection of the beam on the screen per unit deflecting voltage. So what is the deflection happening on the screen per unit voltage? That will give you the sensitivity value. Next is the transverse B field. B means here we are using B or capital B to denote the magnetic field. And if next we are applying a transverse in 180-degree deflection, how it is happening, that we can measure using a magnetometer, a compass. Then mass spectrograph. Mass spectrograph is also a device used to separate an electrically charged particles according to their masses. So it will generate multiple ions from a sample under investigation. It will then separate them according to the specific mass to charge ratio. Then records the relative abundance of each ion type. It converts first. It working according to the method. Something like it will convert first of all atoms into ions, and then it will separate ions by passing it through electric field. Then after that it will allow it to pass through magnetic field, so that they can fan out it into a spectrum. Next comes the curvature tracks of energy determinations. Here we are come to some of the methods which we are using to determine the energy in some of the systems. Next is the principle of cyclotron. Cyclotron, it is an instrument which is, or cyclotron accelerates a charged particle beam using high frequency alternating voltage, which is applied between two hollow D-shaped sheets metal electrodes known as Ds, because it is structure is something like a D. The voltage create an oscillating electric field in the gap between does that accelerate the particle. So we are allowing the particle to enter in this D shape, and it will come out of the first D, then there it have to enter to the another D. So there it will get some acceleration. Again it will come out of the D and it will move to the next one. So when it is coming out of one D and when it is moving to the next D, there will be always an acceleration happening, and in that way we can increase its speed, velocity, all those things. So it is working on the cyclotron works on the principle that the charged particles moving normal to a magnetic field experience magnetic Lorentz force, due to which the particles moves in the circular path, because their D's are placed in a magnetic field. So when it is moving in a normal field, it will obviously choose a circular path. Those principles we are using in the cyclotron. More you will understand when we are discussing in detail in our class, and we have to derive the equations also. Next comes the mutually perpendicular electric field and magnetic field. In this section we are considering the perpendicular electric and magnetic field of the particle and how the particle is moving in a perpendicular electric magnetic perpendicular field. Then velocity selector. Velocity selector is a region in which there is a uniform electric field and uniform magnetic field. The field are perpendicular to one another and are perpendicular to the initial velocity of the charged particle that are passing through the region. The Wien filter is also known as velocity selector, and it is also consists of a perpendicular electric and magnetic field that can be used as a velocity filter for charged particle. And the formula, the charged particle must move with this velocity of E into B in order to pass through the equipment. So if the charged particles which is does not having this velocity will be removed from the selector. Next is parallel E and B field. In parallel E and B field, what we are doing is here your magnetic field and electric field will be parallel to each other, and we have to study the movement and the motion of ions in the E and B field when it is parallel. Then comes the positive ray parameter. Positive rays parabola. Each type of particle in the positive rays will produce a separate parabola, so that an inspection of the plate shows at a glance how many kinds of particles there are in these rays. The measurement of the parabolas and the use of the equation enables us to find the values of mass per electron or mass per charge corresponding to them, and thus to and next is discovery of isotopes. The existence of isotopes was first suggested in 1913 by the radiochemist Frederick Soddy, and based on the studies of radioactive decay chains that indicated about 40 different species referred to as radioelements and etc. So, how he discovered these isotopes and all those things, for our general knowledge we can read. And first of all, we have to know what is isotope, right? So isotope means it is one of two or more species of atoms of chemical elements with the same atomic number and position in the periodic table, and nearly identical chemical behavior, but with different atomic masses and physical properties. Every element one has more or such topics or such elements are called isotopes, and every chemical element has one or more isotopes. Normally, uh, more than one isotopes are occurring for every element. We can just look on to the some of the examples. Something like a carbon 12 is there, carbon 13 is there, carbon 14 is there. Okay, so these 12, 13, 14 are their mass number. So they are having same atomic number but different mass number, that are called the isotopes. And next is mass spectrography. It is a study that study of the results what we are getting from your mass spectrograph. Okay. Then comes the principle of magnetic focusing lens. When we run electricity through a wire rolled into a tight roll, the center is filled with a strong force called magnetism. This force pushes inward of the electron bomb. This device is called magnetic lens because it bends the beam of electrons the same way that a glass lens bends a beam of light. The converging of a stream of electrons by means of a suitable magnetic field uh, is called the magnetic focusing, or it is something like your lens, converging lens. That is why it is called as magnetic lens. The electron beam is strongly focused over a short distance by bending by the magnet as well as being bent by it. This is due to the effect of fringing field in the incident plane of the 180-degree bending magnet. And more of this we'll discuss in our class itself. And hope you got this section. And I think in this section most of the questions can be expecting from the magnetic lens is there, and electric and magnetic field studies. Most of the questions are from that section. How the electric and magnetic fields are behaving when it is parallel, when it is perpendicular, and you have to give more focus on your cyclotron section and the velocity selector. And I think one of the essay question in your previous exam was from the electron gun. When you are writing that electron gun, you have to write what is electron gun, how it is working, and first of all its principle, its working, and one diagram is there. So you have to describe the working using those diagram, and how these selections or how it is. See, in that electron gun you can make the electrons in a streamline, right? So how it is making streamline, how we can make it as a bunch of electrons. Okay, you have to describe all those things, and just focus on that. Just note down about CRO. Maybe there's a possibility that they can ask short questions. What is CRO? How the sensitivity? How the what is magnetic lens, etc. So in question answer format, when we are when you are studying, you just focus on short answer questions as well as long answer questions, because there is a tendency of asking uh, 2 or 3 short answers together to make it as a 10-mark questions. So you can't leave the short answer questions also. Focus on that section also. Okay. That's all for today, and thank you.